Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Skylar, the coach of your Duke City Doublades for Season 3 of the NPA. And we just had a battle against Gearheart this week. In Week 4, you can see the team that I brought. I brought Heatran, Jolteon, Slowbro, Tauros, Umbreon, and Palisand, while he brought Mamoswine, Electrode, which I didn't expect, his Mega Sharpedo, Bronzong, Komodo, and Sylveon. And I thought it'd be best to lead off with Heatran here with my air balloon, try to throw him off a little bit if he leads with Mamoswine, or maybe some like a Bronzong lead to get Stealth Rocks up or something like that. I can hit it, and even if he wants to lead aggressively with Komodo or even Sylveon, I can hit it with either Dragon Pulse or Flash Cannon. So with that, let's just jump straight into the battle here. And this is a long battle. I think this is the longest battle I've had this season, so yeah, it's gonna be a long one. Anyways, I do lead off with Heatran, get my air balloon Heatran out there, and he leads with Vitala, I think it is? I don't know how to say it, but it's the Mamoswine. He leads with the Mamoswine, and I just go straight for a Toxic. I go straight for Toxic, so whatever comes in, or if he decides to try to Earthquake, I do get Toxic. I do get my Toxic off. I get onto the Komodo, which is great, because I don't want Komodo doing anything to me, and it will really weaken the Komodo unless he has Heal Bell Sylveon. And so he goes for Noble Roar, which I didn't know what that did, because I'd never heard of it before, but it lowers my attack and my special attack, which actually really hurts. I go for a Dragon Pulse here, and it does absolutely nothing to Komodo, considering that it is super effective. But the Toxic takes him down to around like 60-ish%, and he actually withdraws and goes out into his Sylveon. And at this point, I had switched out as well, and I go into my Slowbro. And I'm wanting to get a few Calm Minds off, really, and then just kind of go through his team, really. Get a couple Calm Minds off. I have Psyshock, what is it? Psyshock, Flamethrower, and I can't remember what else I have. But I have Flamethrower and Psyshock, which actually really help against this team. And so he goes for the Wish, which I thought was odd. I get my Calm Mind off and go for the Psyshock. It does a good amount to the Electrode, does over half, does like 60%, 60-70%. But he gets the Wish, so he gets that to full. And I know he's just going to go for a Volt Switch, so I switch out into my Jolteon, which has Volt Absorb, so he can't do anything, he's going to have to switch out. So when he's going to switch out, I actually go for my own Volt Switch. Since he can't do anything, I go for my own Volt Switch to get some Switch Initiative off him. And he goes right back out into Sylveon. And I think I go out into my Heatran here, but I don't remember. Yeah. And I just go straight for a Flash Cannon because it's honestly my best move. Anything that comes into it is going to take damage, and if he stays in with Sylveon, then that's whatever. He goes for the Protect. Sees that I have Flash Cannon. And he gets his lefties recovery, and on the next turn, he ends up withdrawing and going out into Osaria, which is the Sharpedo. And I go for a Flamethrower, and it does a good amount to him, does about half, a little over half, and I do get the burn, so that's actually really good because Mega Sharpedo has a crazy high attack stat. And at this point, I'm actually just going to switch out, and I think I go into my Slowbro. No, I go into Umbreon, because that's my best choice. And he Mega Evolves and goes for Waterfall, and it does absolutely nothing. Like, Umbreon is the MVP of this match, because it does so much work in this match by just eating hits. And so it eats everything. It just eats that up. Like, it's nothing. I mean, granted the damage is lessened by the burn, but even just eating that much, you can see how bulky Umbreon is, and it's built specially defensive. So that just shows you the pure raw power of its physical defense. I just go for a foul play. That's my best move. Does nothing to Sylveon because it's a Sylveon and it's not very effective. So at this point, the fairy threatens me out. So after we both get our lefty's recovery, I switch out into my Heatran because it's on my best play. And he goes for Wish. And I'm thinking he's wanting to Wish Pass into Sharpedo, but I know that Flash Cannon will do over half. And especially when Flamethrower did over half. So I just go for a Flash Cannon, I believe. Yeah, I go for the Flash Cannon. It hits the Sylveon. I'm glad he stayed in, and it does a decent amount. It doesn't do enough to take him out. That was a crit, though. And he goes for the Heal Bell, which gets rid of the Toxic and gets rid of the Burn, which is really, really bad for me. And he also gets his Wish recovery. So I'm not sure if he knew whether or not Flash Cannon would take him out or not. I don't know if he was just sacking and hoping, but either way, sucks for us. I know he's just gonna go for Protect on this point, so I just go for Toxic. I know it's not gonna hit anything. I just don't want to waste my PP on Flash Cannon. I mean, I can waste PP on Toxic because, I mean, I only need 6 Toxics to Toxic everything on the team. I go for another Toxic, and I think he might go for Heal Bell, or he might just switch out. No, he goes for the Wish, of course. And so at this point, I know he's just trying to Wish stall me out, which is fine. That's okay by me. He's playing a very stallish game. PP stall for that. And so I just switch out. I try to make an aggressive move. I go to my Tauros, which has Iron Head, which does up to 97%. But he actually switches out into the Komodo. And at this point, I'm like, okay, this isn't good. I don't have Outrage. That's not okay. And I'm Choice Scarf, so I actually just beat everything on his team with the investments I have. But he actually doubles out into the Bronzong. And I don't know what I went for. I went for Zen Headbutt because it's Psychic Stab. Or Psychic super effective. It does nothing to Bronzong because it's Bronzong. And I have to switch out because I'm Choice Scarf, and he actually goes for his Stealth Rocks. So Umbreon comes in, try to get some Foul Play or Sucker Punch, super effective damage on it. Doesn't happen because I think he switches out into Sylveon at this point. So, bad for me, but it's okay for him. And there's 55 turns in this battle, just so you guys know. This battle went on forever, and we're only at turn 20. So actually going through pretty well, but I go for the Foul Play once he switches in his Komodo. And it does okay damage for being not very effective. I mean, granted, Komodo has a really high attack stat, just naturally. So I don't know if he's invested in his attack or not. But I have to switch out because he probably has like Sky Uppercut or something that can take me out. I go into my Slowbro. He goes for Normal Roar. Oh no, he actually goes for Dragon Tail. That's right, he's trying to phase me at this point. So he's phasing me out, that's fine. Slowbro goes out, gets his Regenerator recovery, he's back up to full, and Palisand comes out for the first time, and I'm like, okay, now I can try to do something with this. So after we both get our lefties, I just go, he goes for Normal Roar, and I believe I just go for Shadow Ball? Yeah, I just go for Shadow Ball, and I forget he has Bulletproof. So, that's fine, it's whatever. But at this point, I just have to go for Earth Power. I just have to go for Earth Power at this point because it's the only thing I can really do to him. I know my special attack and attack are dropping, but I don't really care. I mean, I wasn't taking this thing out at any time soon anyways. So he withdraws and goes out into his Sylveon. I go for another Earth Power. It does nothing. And I'm not sure what he's wanting to do at this point. I'm like, why did he switch into Sylveon? I'm not sure why he went into Sylveon. But I withdraw, and I go out into my Slowbro. And I'm thinking he probably just gonna go for Witch, but no, he actually goes for Moonblast. I'm not sure how much that would have done to Palossand, but that does a lot to me. That does a lot to Slowbro. But I'm like, okay, I can take another one if I get my... I'm like, okay. I can take another one of those, because I was at like 80%, and it took me down just below half. So I can take another one of those, and possibly another one after that if I get a Calm Mind up. He goes for Heal Bell, so I get my free Calm Mind up, and some Leftovers recovery. So he cures himself as his poisoning, and I get my Calm Mind up, which means I can take one, possibly two Moonblasts from this thing. And at this point, I'm just going to start Calm Minding up, because there's no reason for me not to. And if I can get like 3 or 4 Calm Minds up, I can start just tearing through his team with Psyshock and Flamethrower and whatever else I had on this thing. I don't remember. Scald, of course. Water Stab, of course. He goes for Moonblast. I'm going to eat it deliciously. And I get another Calm Mind up. So at this point, I think his only really choice is to switch into what is it? Bronzong, and try to phase me out. Try to get me to just go out. So he withdraws, and I think I went for Psyshock on this turn, and he goes out into his Sharpedo, and I Calm Mind again, so I have 3 Calm Minds up. And I'm like, you know, I'm gonna play it risky in case he goes for Waterfall. And I'm just going to go for my Scald. But no, he goes for Crunch, so I let Slowbro go down. It's whatever, I don't really care. I'm playing for fun, I'm trying to be fun, see what I can do, see what I can get away with. So I can't get away with that. I go out into Jolteon, and I know he's going to switch here. But I'm not sure what he's going to switch into. I think he's going to switch into Mamoswine, which he does. And I think I actually go for a Hidden Power Fire on this turn. No, I go for the Volt, which doesn't affect him. So I go for Hidden Power Fire on this turn, I believe. Yeah, I go for a Hidden Power Fire. I forget that he is Thick Bat, actually. So it does absolutely nothing. And he goes for Superpower. And I actually lived this on like 19 HP or something like that. So I'm like, okay, so Jolteon's Zac. Jolteon I can save just for Death Fodder. And I got into Palossand. And he goes for Ice Shard, which I eat up. I eat up really, really well. For it being super effective, that is. Super effective and stab, I eat it up really well. He goes for Freeze Dry, and I think I live this too really well. Not really well. But I do go for the Giga Drain. Super effective damage. Takes him down below half. And I get all that recovery. But at this point, I know I can't live a Freeze Dry, so I have to swap. And so I swap out into my Umbreon because it's going to take anything this thing throws at me. Unless he has like a fighting type move. But he goes for the Freeze Dry. Doesn't get the freeze. It does absolutely nothing. Like I think that did less than the Leftovers gave me back. But I have no idea. I wasn't looking. So he swaps out into his Umbreon as expected. I went for the Sucker Punch in case he went for something. In case he tried to do more to me. Maybe he had like the fighting type move and I could just Sucker Punch him. Get a little bit less on him. But, oh well. It fails. I have to swap out. And he's probably going to go for a Wish. So out into Tauros at this turn. I'm trying to be aggressive. I'm trying to be aggressive and get him to swap out. He goes for the Wish. And I think at this point he knows that I'm choiced. Whether it's Choice Bandit or Choice Scarfed, I don't think he knows. Huh, watch me be Specs. But no, I think he's actually going to go out into his Bronzong at this point. So I actually go for the Flamethrower. Because I am running Flamethrower on this thing. Actually, no, I go for the return. I go for the Flamethrower later. My bad. But I go for the return. He does nothing because he's a Steel type. And the Wish gets him back to full. So I have to swap out because I'm choiced. And I go out into Umbreon. Just because I'm going to take anything he throws at me. Except for that. Because he throws his Future Sight out there. So I'm like, okay. Future Sight is 3 turns after. It's... at this point, I thought Future Sight took effect 3 turns after it was used. So I'm like, okay. I don't want Umbreon to take this. So I'm actually going to swap... I'm going to Moonlight first. So that's 1 turn. And then I'm going to swap into Palisand, because I'm not going to take a Fighting type move from this thing. So I can get no effect from that. And then I'm just going to swap into Jolteon to take the Future Sight, and that's Death Fodder right there. That was my plan. And then I realized, oh wait, Future Sight is 2 turns after it's used, right? And I'm like, oh, that's not good. Because Palisand's now going to die for no reason whatsoever. So he takes the Future Sight, and it takes me out. Which I think if I could have kept Palisand alive, it would have... I probably would have had a better score in this match than I did. So, at this point, I swap into Jolteon. There's no reason for me to keep this thing around. I live on 2, and I'm just like, I'm just going to fire off Choice Specs Modest Thunderbolts for whatever damage I can get off. I know it's going to do nothing to Sylveon because Sylveon's special defense is just atrociously high. So it does like 15%, maybe? Maybe that's 20, I have no idea. I just fire off Thunderbolts. He goes for Wish. He knows I can't take him out. So there's a reason, so he has all the time in the world to really just set up his perfect sleeping plan. And he swaps out into the Mamoswine, and at this point I'm just like, just kill me. Please. I'm Choice Specs, I can't do anything, just kill me. Just kill me. Please, just kill me. And he goes for the Ice Shard, so he takes me out. And at this point, I know I've lost the match. I can't do anything. I go out into Tauros. And I go for the Iron Head, but he switches out into his Bronzong. Or I might have gone for the Flamethrower at this point. No, I went for the Iron Head. And at this point, it's really just me swapping around and switching until I lose. So I'm going to speed up the battle and see you guys at the end. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week when we get 6-0'd again. Bye!